Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Ferdbird the Nerd with another video game market report for you guys. This is the last week of May. It is also my birthday today, so happy birthday to me. And yeah, I just want to get one more show out before the week. I'll try and do a magazine report tomorrow or maybe something random just for Friday evening. But I do appreciate everyone's support. You guys do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe, tell all your friends about it. The last video we did, we had about 150 views, which is kind of where I want to be in the ballpark. I'll try and make this short, but I have about 9 games to talk about today and a couple flip ideas that if you get lucky, submitting these specific games getting high grade, you can make some money. All right, let's get into it. Let's see here. All right. All right, and first off, I have 8 games today, actually. Sorry, not 9. TMNT, the arcade Turtles game. I guess it's Turtles 2, but to me, it's just the arcade game always because this is very similar to the arcade game that we used to play as kids. $2.99 for a CI being 6.5 grade. Now, if you are lucky enough to find this at discount store, garage sale, complete in game, and you can get it for like $50 or whatever, I think it'd be pretty cool. But $2.99 for a 6.5 grade. I mean, essentially, people just want this game to grade and to display in their collections. But I'm one of those people. I was gonna try and get this NES cardboard game and bring it to a convention to get signed by some of the characters from the game. But I don't know if I have enough money to do that, or to justify it, I should say. But $2.99 for this and 6.5 is a really good price, in my opinion. It just shows that there's a lot of fanfare with this game, which really pushes the envelope for video games in general. So I think that's great. All right, next on the list, we have another popular one. Super Mario number 2, 7.5 CIB, CGC, this is CGC grade. I feel like there's about 10 million copies of this video game, but to come in at $350 for a buy it now, I still think is pretty strong. Now, nonetheless, it's probably really hard to get a high, I call 7.5 a high grade for a Nintendo game just because people were not thinking that you could grade games in the future and display them and all that. But 350 is really strong. I mean, I think if you're able to find parts of a video game, specifically the cardboard, which is the hardest thing to get graded as far as like grade is concerned, excuse me, and you can piece it together for like under $100 and you get a 6.5, a 6.0 or higher, and you're not really married to that particular game, you can make some pretty good money and just sitting on a buy it now. Like if you get this for $100, get it graded for 50, you're up 200, after fees, you're probably up like 150. That's not bad. That's a lot better than, I don't know. And it may be more fun to like try and find this game particularly, but I thought 350 for a buy it now, 7.5, you can sit on that, kind of wait for the market to come to you, and there's no there's no issues and stuff. So I just thought that was very fascinating to me. PS2 Fantastic Four Rise of the Silver Surfer. I don't know why I put this game up here, but I just thought it was, these PS2 first prints specifically in 9.8s go for pretty good if you can get a really high grade. Now it's not very easy to get a CGC 9.8. A WATA evidently is a lot easier, but 150 for 9.8 for a game that didn't really have a lot of fanfare. The movie doesn't have a ton of fanfare, and this coverage sucks. But I don't know, $20 if you can find a sealed copy of it, which I did find. Flip it, put it on and buy it now for $150, and that's not a bad flip. 100% return. Next up, we have The Last of Us PS5 and a 10.0, $1,500. Buy it now for a 10.0. This isn't even like the original cover, which I thought was also something to take into consideration. What else you should take into consideration is hitting that like button, hitting that subscribe button, and telling all your friends about the show. Humble plug there. I think the show's done very well. The second season was, in my honest opinion, it almost started too fast, where there was a lot of action and you're kind of trying to keep up with stuff. I'll have to rewatch it again, but nonetheless, I wish I saw more Abby, but I get where they're going with the season. And I think this could go 2 more seasons, honestly. There's the fact that they only do 8 to 10 episodes per season. There's not enough time to tell the true story of The Last of Us Part 2. The ending of the show this past season like really sucked. I mean, what I mean by that is I just wanted more. I just wish it was longer, but I get it. It seems super high for $1,500 for this particular game. I could think of a million other Pokemon games I could pay 1,500 for, but I'm starting to think: are we hitting a lull or a period of time where really the digital versus physical games are coming? It's like newsstands for comic books in 2016, 2017, whenever they stopped doing newsstands for comic books. I wonder if we're hitting kind of that nostalgia, that collectability to where newer games are going to do actually better than older just because of the less amount of games out there for physical. So something to keep an eye out for the newer games that are coming out. Another one which I just don't understand. I get the rarity of this game and all that, and it's my favorite game of all time, but I'd rather just have the OG version. $2,000 for this low print game in a 9.9. It's the integrated version. Now, if you guys don't know, the Final Fantasy VII integrated version, it came out a few years ago. I can't remember. They actually now put these out. They actually put the integrated versions out now. There's like a second print basically of it, but there are some things missing from the original game that they put in the integrated version, and then for some reason they stopped printing them. I think people just weren't buying the Final Fantasy game. I don't know. And then they revamped the integrated version like in a second print. So $2,000 for this. I'd rather buy a sealed 9.8 greatest hits for 500. Honestly, that was my first game ever that I played for Final Fantasy VII. I didn't even play the original version. So to get this, I mean, I understand that there's a lot less out of them out there, but it just doesn't hit it for me. And it's not on the original system too. So nonetheless, 9.9 for 2K. If you're lucky enough to get one, good luck. And hope you get a 9.9 and sell it for 2K. Now, I asked about this on my Instagram. Elden Ring, I never play this game. I never will. But I know there's a lot of popularity with this game. It's super hard. It takes forever to beat. But kind of alluding back to what I was talking about earlier. This is a super high, super low print run comparative to like 10 years ago, 15 years ago, just because, again, the physical versus digital downloads for video games. It's just easier to like go home, erase a game, upload a new one, play it on Xbox. I know PS5 doesn't have all the games on there, but I feel like the next console, and they kind of already did this with the newest PS5. There's a digital version and there's a CD version, right? So I wonder if the next PS5, Xbox, PS6, whatever, are they just gonna just do away with physical in general and then just put out like collector's editions of certain games just for the cost of doing it? I don't know, but I feel like the section at Best Buy or Target of physical video games is getting smaller and smaller by the day. GameStop, I mean, itself, like the majority of the stuff you buy from GameStop, if it's video game related, it's like collector's editions, which is a great niche, but I just don't think that the cost advantage and more specifically the advantage for the feasibility of going into downloading video games versus having to wait. And then when you get the actual physical version, you still have to download it anyway. So it's almost like it's such a waste of time that I think consumers are just going to be like, forget it. I'm just going to get the digital version. I'm not even going to mess with the physical version anymore. So, anyway, back to this $650 for a 9.9, which isn't tough, but a 9.8 of this sold for $599. I'm going to go to Best Buy. I'm going to buy a PS5 Elden Ring. I'm going to see if I can get a 9.8, and I'm going to sell it for $650. That is your flip of the week. This is not your flip of the week. This is a very tough game to get. Pokemon Ruby version for the Game Boy Advance. Extremely hard to find in sealed versions, but 9.6 for a sealed in 4K earlier this month. Not in 4K, for $4,000 in sealed earlier this month. The Game Boy Advance generation is like, they're coming into like getting new jobs in tech, and just in real life, and they are now falling into that nostalgia kind of paradigm. So I would be interested. 9.6 again sells for 4K in this. That's a sealed version. I can't even imagine what a 9.8 goes for. It's got to be like double at least, and extremely hard to get. But congrats to the 9.6 sealed seller. That's a great sale. Great sale. And if you're a buyer of that, it's just going to go higher. And last but not least, Game Boy, the Pokemon box game, or Pokemon box, the GameCube, right? Yeah, GameCube. Now, at first when I did these slides, I was like, where is this from? Like, I forgot there's some lore with this. 4,200 for a CIB. Yeah, not a seal, but a CIB. But this is considered one of the Pokemon video game grails because of the exclusivity. It was only available in the Pokemon Center in New York. So if you guys have never been to New York before, there's a Pokemon Center. I don't know exactly where it's at, but it's in Manhattan. I feel like it's near like NBC. I'm not sure. That might be Nintendo in general, but this was only available, I think, 2004, 2003. I gotta imagine there wasn't a ton of people picking this up, and it was exclusively only in New York. So I don't know, like if people were like, "Oh, can you get me this copy?" Like in New York, it's that was 20 years ago. The world's just a lot different now. So I can imagine there wasn't a ton of these sold. It's only one specific area in the world, and in one of the busiest parts in the world, which just kind of adds to the value of this game itself. And I think that's pretty cool story. But 4,200 for a CIB, that's insane. So anyway, that's your market report for video games this week. I do appreciate everyone's support. Hit that like button, subscribe to all your friends, and we'll see you next time. Have a great week. We're almost there. Take care.